Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome back to Real Crypto. Thanks for joining me once again today. So Bitcoin broke down a little bit since we talked last time. Since the last video, Bitcoin kind of went on this sell-off right here, consolidating most recently down in this area. I mentioned we could be putting in a kind of a shoulder head with a shoulder pattern here. If this is indeed the case, and if this is the head and shoulders, then we can go ahead and anticipate this being the neckline with a potential downside target on the, in the area of about $5,700 or so, give or take. Now, as you can notice here, if we go back to most recent history, that's fairly close to the 5,800 or so bottom that we saw over here back in early February. And that would be a pretty good place for a bounce up. Now, I want to show you something else that I'm seeing in the Bitcoin chart. And this goes back down to our good old granddaddy of 2013. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to write some comments down below, and please do so. Actually, YouTube will rank these videos higher if you guys comment. So even if you guys say hello, Real Crypto, I like your stuff, please guys, leave a comment or two down there. I'd appreciate it. Like the video if you like the content, okay? But not only that, but I think a lot of people, and I hear this time and time again, we talk about the 2013 route in Bitcoin down here, and everyone's saying we're more like this in Bitcoin than we are like this in Bitcoin. And I've got a couple things to say real quick. Number one, these aren't mutually exclusive things, ladies and gentlemen. These are not mutually exclusive things. Both of these had prior parabolic runs. Both had massive corrections. In the end, that's really all that matters, is that they had massive corrections after parabolic runs. So, I've been comparing it with this 2013 drop because it's really rhyming leg for leg almost. And I'm going to get into a little bit of that leg analysis here. But this early 2013 parabolic move and subsequent bear market here is not behaving anywhere near as similar as this market is. So I'm going to focus on this market in terms of the technical analysis. Now, in terms of the time horizon for bottoming and things of that nature, it's definitely happening much faster than this 2013, even though the price is actually happening, or I'm sorry, the price is behaving extraordinarily similar. So with that being the case, this is 2013, and you can anticipate Bitcoin right now in the cycle we're in is sitting right around this area, okay? Sitting right around this area. And something to note is that after this area kind of cleared up, we actually rolled over fairly hard, had a small capitulation move here with a lower low based off of this level, and then we bounced higher before we finally rolled over to the ultimate capitulation move. I think this is our most likely future, okay? Not simply for the fact that this is 2013 and we are rhyming almost exactly with much of this price action, but also due to the fact that, now this is the most current price action, this is the live market on a 2-hour chart. It's also due to the fact that it just, from my experience in trading and all the charts I've looked at in my many years, this is way too much, way too soon for us to come down here and bottom. Now there's a lot of people calling that we're going to bottom here at this 5,800 level and then bounce higher, and I think you're going to see a mix. You're going to see a mix of a failure, and then you're going to see a subsequent bounce up. Now, this actually isn't that particular failure line. This is actually kind of a target line I drew earlier, going back down towards 3,200, based off of this move from this high down to this low point. Okay, but this is my most recent target. My most recent target here, like I said, the 5,600 level. Now, as we get down here, I think we're going to get a little bit lower. We're going to shake people out from 5,000. We're probably going to get down to about 4,700, somewhere around the 5,000 level, give or take. I don't know exactly. I don't have a good analysis on that. I've done my last video or two. I've done analysis based on different ways you can take this trend line. You can take it from here. You can take it from here. You can take it from here. You can take it from here, and they all give you various price points. Okay, but in the end, these most recent price action are the ones that really do play out. So I will anticipate this playing out, and I do also anticipate some more downside action. But after that, I do think we get a subsequent bounce. I think we challenge this trend line, even cross it, which will bring more bulls into the market. And then I think we're gonna bounce over, do some stuff, and then we're gonna drop over, and then finally have the capitulation move. So in 2013, like I said, we're right about here right now. We're somewhere around here, okay? And I think we're going to head lower. We're going to go underneath that prior low. We're going to undercut it, and then we're going to bounce up. And this is going to bring a lot of bulls into the market. The problem is this will more than likely be a false bottom. Now, that being said, if we do get this move to the downside here, there's no reason you guys can't buy it. There's no reason you can't use, the bottom buying seminar that I just did in Bitcoin last week to buy this bottom. All right, now, what if I'm wrong and this is the ultimate low? Well, guess what? You may have caught the bottom. But what if I'm right and we bounce up and subsequently roll over? Well, if you see here, there's plenty of price action up above. If you buy anywhere down in this area, there's plenty of price action for you to take a profit, if it looks like we're going to continue rolling over. And it will, it will. At the latest in this particular chart pattern, I'd probably get out, right here. Okay? If you're really looking this for a longer term position, you're going to have a failure point. This is that failure point in this particular chart. All right? The reason being is because after we've had a bounce up, a higher low, a higher high compared to here, and then now this is a resting period that we really needed to hold out. And if you look at it, there's a trend line right there. There's a trend line right there. So this is about your exit point right about here. Okay, so if you do buy this bounce, ladies and gentlemen, if we do get this route to the downside, and this is a buyable bottom, we are clear to buy this bounce, even if it is just for a trade. Or if you look here, we did go lower, and albeit from a percentage perspective, quite significantly lower, another 44% lower, as a matter of fact, from this bottom point. Okay, from this bottom point, we went 44% lower. So if you do buy this bottom, could you hold it? Absolutely, you could hold it, okay? But I would probably recommend selling it on a bounce somewhere. And, we'll talk about that more as the time comes. But this is what I'm anticipating happening, something similar to this round over action. I don't know about this exact, up, down, up, sideways, downward trending, then a capitulation move. I don't know about those exact sequence of events. All right, but all I do know is that it seems a little soon for Bitcoin to drop right now and go down, in perpetuity. I think there's too many people that think this is going to be the bottom, but the problem is it's going to be a false bottom. I think that's going to be the issue here. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, while Bitcoin is away, the alts may play, and Bitcoin's been a little bit lackadaisical down here, which has actually given a few altcoins a really nice run. Let's go to CoinMarketCap and kind of look at what's been happening. Now, like I said in my last video, we talked about the market cap and how that's going to stay under $300 billion. And actually, it's lowered a little bit down to 256. So I think that 300 is definitely a cap. And the more milestones we break to the downside, the more those are going to become ceilings. But look at EOS up 10%, sitting strongly at number 6, well above Cardano. Cardano's faltered some more. You can see here based on the market cap. These were fairly evenly matched. Now they're a full billion apart. And then if we continue down further, Tron coming back. I've got Tron in one of these. There we go. So let's go back out to the 2-hour in Tron. So Tron was having a really nice run here. We were telegraphing this in the power hour. And it was pretty good trade. We talked about exiting. Some people had some good exits here. And then I don't know anyone that got back in on this move today. But right now we have another larger cup with handle forming here. And this is a pretty nice bull flag right here. I would possibly anticipate this to break out further. Let's go to the daily chart on Tron. All right, so we have the breakout here, a pullback, and then another nice high volume candle here. Albeit there is some selling in this candle. It is looking pretty good. It is looking pretty good. I wouldn't be taking a position here. What I would be doing with Tron is just watching it, waiting for volume to subside, and then probably get involved at a pretty decent buy point, similar to what we talked about with Ontology a few days ago, ladies and gentlemen. This is the chart pattern of the year so far, and it is proving to work out really, really well. Really well. Like I said in our power hour the other day, we did talk about Tron in real time, actually underneath this trend line right here. And it's proven to be a very successful trade, ladies and gentlemen. Proven to be a very successful trade, still moving up. If you guys do have positions in ONT, and I believe we talked about this last time, and I think we were right here around these two candles. And I thought it was a pretty good place to get in. I mentioned this trend line here being support. It did prove to be support, and then it did continue higher. If you guys did take positions, congratulations. And just enjoy the run, ladies and gentlemen. But I probably would employ a trailing stop strategy at this particular point in time. I would probably right now I would probably have my stop here at the lowest. At the lowest here, I may even move this up under this low here, kind of at the just under the 40,000 Satoshi level. All right, just under the 40,000 Satoshi level. There are signs of distribution. Here's a nice sign of distribution. But if you do want to give this some room, I think that would be a pretty good stop in place. But man, this ONT trade has really been a fantastic trade. And a couple other honorable mentions here as well. We talked about Tron there. We looked at Tron, looks pretty good, up 35%. We looked at Ontology. There's one more here that was looking pretty good. Or was there? Maybe I looked at them all already. I think that was it, ladies and gentlemen. I think those were the honorable mentions in terms of altcoins. But like I said, while Bitcoin is a way that altcoins may play, and you guys have to pay attention to these chart patterns because the chart patterns will lead you to the strength. Without knowing anything about ontology, chart patterns kind of lead the way in this manner. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Price action rules. Keep in mind, I believe Bitcoin is going to round over similar to 2013 here. So keep that in mind. Do some analysis for yourself. Go ahead and take a look at these charts, see how much they are alike. They're more alike than they are not alike. That's all I'll say about that particular subject matter. And on the immediate term here in Bitcoin, we're stuck in this consolidation range. This is not bullish action. This is bearish action. I would anticipate this to break to the downside. That should be its next move. If we do get a pop-up, that would be a shortable bounce. And then we're probably going to get a break of this particular quasi neckline. I can't say for sure it's a head and shoulders pattern, but it could be. And it could be very weak head and shoulders pattern. Actually, this reminds me a little bit about the Ethereum head and shoulders pattern right here, where Ethereum had an extraordinarily weak right shoulder. You can see how weak this was in compared to this shoulder, and even the head. It was very much very weak. This was very weak. I mentioned it at the time, and it subsequently just cratered. And Ethereum is not looking healthy. It looks like it's got food poisoning down for the count, and it's going to throw up again. That's really what that looks like. But Bitcoin is kind of looking like Ethereum was up here in terms of this head and shoulders. A little malformed, a little worse in Bitcoin, but still overall bearish. So shoulder, head, potential shoulder here. Like I said, if it does run up again, that would be a shortable rally in my opinion. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That's my analysis for Bitcoin. Now, please check out the Power Hour if you haven't already, and also go to my website and check out those webinars if you haven't checked out that How to Buy the Bottom of Bitcoin webinar yet. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time.